Hey everyone, today I wanted to share more like a peeve that I have with shared hosting plans. And I mean, I have nothing against providing cheap options for people to publish their own websites, their own applications like WordPress, Node.js applications. But I think one of the biggest problem with these shared plans is they don't really work in the long term. Like for example, I've been working on this website for mine for the last couple of weeks now. I spent a lot of time in thinking what I wanted to do with this website. I spent a lot of times in sort of like connecting it to Google, Bing, and everything. And so this is what I'm seeing now. It simply does not load, right? And in the initial days, it worked quite well. I could easily just load a page. Let me retry it. Okay, so this one is working. But let's say if I go to dashboard, it doesn't. So it's not that my internet is bad. It simply means that there is something else going on the hosting environment. So I'm just gonna run it. So it's at least 100 Mbps or better. Okay, so it's giving me good speed. And yeah, so I mean everything else works just fine. Most of the bloggers work just fine. YouTube is working. I'm able to stream this content as well. That's also fine. But the website would randomly load, and sometimes it will not load for whatever reason. And I have been going through this challenge for a while. The last time I was using a shared hosting plan, they canceled my plan because they said, okay, hey, you know what? Your website is generating too much spam traffic for us. So we had to disable it and we will close it and move forward. Okay, fair enough. Back then, I think this was like, I think more than a year ago. I didn't care because I had not seen what was happening in the hosting plan. I gave up. But this time, because I had been monitoring the traffic and activity, everything, and I just cleaned the account properly a few weeks back, I knew there was nothing wrong, and I was actively monitoring everything, including the users, user accounts, safety. And then I saw this thing. Why is the CPU at 100%? Because I just started editing a page, and so I thought, okay, maybe I should see what's going on. And then there are like 166 processes going on. There were a lot of files that were actually created. Let me actually try to pull up the page where this one, for example. Let me see if I can pull up the page where it said, hey, you're reaching the maximum file limit on your account. But I was not creating any more files. All I do, for the record, on this website is I just create a WordPress website for a new business venture or a blog or something, and I just leave it there. Now, WordPress, last I checked, does not automatically create new instances or pages or whatever for you. Okay, so now we're finally moving to the dashboard, and I totally understand the reason why it's clogged right now is because of this. It's not clogged because there's bloatware somewhere. It's clogged because the CPU usage is at max. And why is it at max? I will come to it in a minute. Now, truth be told, so when I looked at it, and you can see like it's not like I'm putting terabytes of storage here. Like the database is like few. It's actually 1.5 gigabytes. If it was like 2 gigabytes, I would say, okay, that's the bare minimum of saying this is multiple gigabytes of storage. Domains, not 100 domains. And this is, for the record, this plan actually comes with multiple hosting support as well. So for example, you can host not 2, 3, 4 websites. They say that, okay, you can store a lot of unlimited, like as said here, that's part of the plan, that you can upload unlimited databases or websites, domains, etc. I'm not doing most of that. Like, even if I, for example, show you how many email accounts am I running, it's not that much, right? It's just like these few, and they're also not like gigantic in size, right? Okay, so let's see the domains. But again, the thing that I want to bring attention towards is this one, resource usage. Now, I would really want to see what is clogging my CPU, which processes are hitting the limits or the quotas on this plan. So I tried to sort of like expand into it and see, okay, what is really going on? And then there are like these domains that don't even really exist. They don't, for example, I don't have any hosting associated with them. Actually, I removed it. Like, for example, this one, I know there was something for it, but I removed it a while back. But still, it generates a lot of traffic toward these websites. So I actually opened it up and I wanted to see what's really going on. Today is 12th of January, so about after 9 until 11, there's a lot of traffic going on towards this. So for example, it says 2 MBs, 2 MBs, 1 MB, 2 MB, and then 47 MBs. And then all the way it goes to like 1.19 gigabytes, 1.92 gigabytes, 662 MBs, and so on. But there is no hosting on the back of it. But based on this hosting plan, they sort of like expose the file system as a hosting. Why they do it? Why don't they just block it by default? I have no idea. I'm not representing them. I'm just sharing that this happens to you. And for the record, I'm not like this website, for example, I'm not using it for anything. And this one belongs to a family member. And they reached out to me a while back and they said, hey, my website is down. What really happened? And I told them I have no idea why it stopped working. And the reason was somehow it was taken over. And I'm not saying that it was taken over because something happened to this website itself, but I think something happened to the hosting plan that compromised the entire shared. I don't know how they're setting up the cluster, but I think all the websites that are shared within this cluster, they were compromised. Now, for example, all of a sudden, all of these files, like these files were created just yesterday, right? And they're big files. They're like this one is 28 kilobytes, this one is 36 kilobytes, and who is uploading them? I have no idea. So I even tried to open one of these files, one of these PHP files, and it is password protected. Of course, I can download the PHP file and look at it. But I think if I do look at it, it is, so for example, if I open this file up, it is an encrypted file. So I need to do some decrypting, which I'm not interested in at all. But I think there is some PHP script here, which again is further, I think at least, how do you call it? It's at least sort of like, but if you look at it, this is JSON, there's a compress concatenation going on. File, this is supposed to be like get contents, file file.get contents, and then it evaluates something. I believe these are methods that it is calling. These are again methods. This is the file name. So, but why should I even have to care about any of this? If the website is not working, if I'm not asking you to publish a website, if I've just added a domain there, why are you even generating traffic toward it? Is it WordPress? I doubt that WordPress has such a bad security, even though I hate PHP, but I don't think that WordPress is so broken that the latest versions of WordPress have this sort of like vulnerability where anybody can take control over it and do whatever they want to do with it, right? I think this was turned into a backup or something because this says php__da 94192. It's more like removing the extension. So if somebody tries to read the file, they're unable to read it. And then they, I think, moved all of these to a different file, which is something else. I don't know what they try to do. But what I do know is it was some sort of this game platform, fake, real, I don't know. a gambling platform, I don't know, or even who cares, but it's like more like this became more like the homepage. That's what I think. If you go to Yono Games on this one, then I think it redirects you there or does whatever. But this is what is happening on shared hosting plans, and I think I no longer like shared hosting plans because of the same reason. Because one, I haven't opened any doors, and if I was rented a building whose doors I need to manually lock myself every single time, I don't think it's worth it. I would rather live in a building where the doors are locked by default and I'm given a key and I have to use that key to open it when I want to or when I need to. Right? So that's the first thing. Why is it not safe? And this is the second time that I'm being actually told that this the resource consumption, for example, on this page, this one is too much, even though I'm not using it actively. So I should be given the controls to block everything and allow the things that I want to allow by default. I'm also trying to find the email that they sent a while back. It was more like an email from the lawyers that, hey, this is the legal team reaching out, and we're telling you that we had to close your subscription. You have time to download the backup. And I'm not saying that their action was not fair. I think they were very professional. They were very supportive. They were able to deliver all the value to me. I was able to move and migrate everything. But why is it happening again and again? And that is why I'm saying this is the number one reason why you should always avoid shared hosting plans. If you can, you should always go to at least a dedicated resource that's only for your application. My business plan, or my sort of like plan for hosting all these applications, is that I should have only one hosting plan. I can deploy 2-3 websites to it, 2-3 domains to it, and then run it. And if I notice any performance hiccups, I can always increase the plan. So for example, I can scale it up. So for example, if I'm using, I don't know, $50 per month plan, I can increase it to 70, 80, 90, whatever is the next plan. So then I can smoothly operate all the business that I have. But I think that with the shared hosting plans, it kills the purpose, because it's more like, okay, there's a shared server somewhere which is shared among X amount of other people, and then I have my own Y amount of applications, and then each application has Z amount of processes. And if something bad happens, if a bad actor steps in and takes charge of it, then I'm stuck. Because it could be anybody from X user accounts who gets compromised, and then any of their Y domains that is actually compromised, which can spread this vulnerability across all the platforms. And then this is what you see. This whole thing is what you see. Like, who created this? For example, this file. Who created this file? I did not create this file. So who has access to it? And let me see. Last I remember, I did not create any FTP accounts. So let me see. Was there any FTP account? Because I don't think anybody should be able to access the file system for my for this one. For example, nobody should be able to access the file system for this one unless I create an FTP account for them. I give them access. I lose my username, password, or something like that. Because, and honestly, I don't even use the username, password for this hosting platform. I log in directly to it from the hosting provider. So I use the one-click login solution, and they log me in. So it's not that I'm throwing my username, password in WordPress chats which got exposed. So this is really annoying me, because now I again have to do this heavy lifting where I have to migrate all these resources to another platform. And I have to say I'm pretty happy with the hosting provider. I'm just not happy anymore with the shared model of hosting provider. And definitely that means that I should go for the dedicated one, a virtual private server, a dedicated resource, or something else, which definitely requires more money. But I think that paying that money is really worth it. And I'm showing you the scars from the wounds that I have. So maybe that you can avoid all these scars for yourself. I think shared hosting plans are not worth it, unless you're like, okay, I'm just gonna test this thing out for like 3 months, 6 months period, and then if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it works, then okay, I'll migrate it to a VPS. So I think right now where I am with my website, I'm actually mature enough or graduated enough with that one, so I can move it to a VPS. But I think I'm gonna do it for every other website as well. I'm not sure where I'm gonna move it to, but I think one thing I know for sure and for certain is that I am definitely gonna move it to a dedicated instance where I have control over the process, the storage, the platforms, and all the frameworks that are installed, and no one else is sharing that with me, because of course it's not that I'm saying that other actors are malicious in this instance, but it could be that they get compromised and then they compromise the entire platform. Otherwise, I don't think, because I have a lot of applications and platforms deployed on other cloud platforms, like for example Azure. I've been using Azure for more than a decade. These kind of things don't happen there. One of the reasons is because the security is very tight on shared plans. The security cannot be tightened that much, and also it's very low cost. I think if you look at a lot of these shared hosting platforms, they charge you like about €1, €2, €3 per month, and it doesn't make any sense for the platform to invest heavily in security. Of course, they do invest in security, but it doesn't make sense for them to invest equally in the security management for a dedicated hosting and the shared hosting at the same time. So, and I think that's also one of the reasons why you should definitely invest in a dedicated hosting resource, because it's your place. Like what I was saying, there you get a building that is locked down and you have the keys and you can open it up. You can definitely open all the windows, you can definitely leave all the doors open, but then it's up to you because it's your choice. And if you want to do that, sure, go for it. But if you don't want to do that, then they don't force you to do it. And they don't leave everything open for you to come and then start closing all the windows and looking at all the vents and everything, and then you have to close down everything. So yeah, I think that this to me kills the whole purpose of this shared hosting plan. Now I'm also trying to find the email. I hope I can find it where they yes. So this one. So this one was the email that I received a while back. So they wrote down that, okay, the CPU usage, memory usage was one of the reasons why we had to remove your website. And so this was the website, study/work. And now if I show you study/work, this website is working perfectly. And it is still hosted with the same provider. Now you may have seen that I'm using Namecheap here. I really love them. I've been using them for more than a decade now, and nothing against them. So even this email, I'm not saying that this is against them. Even after this email, I'm still using their hosting platform. The only mistake that I made was it's still the shared hosting platform, which in my opinion is no longer a viable solution for my cases. It may be for you. So what they reached out to me with was, okay, this is your website and this is what it's doing, and you need to we had to stop your subscription. They terminated the subscription even though I had paid for it but they were like, no, it's gone. We can only give you the backup for it. And back then I did not really pay attention to it. They said, okay, it was unoptimized scripts, cron jobs, etc. I did not really read any of this content because I'm not running this website myself. So I thought, okay, sure, it could be that. I'll close it down, I'll take the backups, and I'll move it again. Right now it is deployed with EasyWP, which is again a product of Namecheap. But as you can see, it's working perfect. You click on a page, it loads it, and there it is, AI stuff. Again, I have not created this. But yeah, it's working perfect, right? The reason is because it's giving this instance its own resources. It's allocating all the resources to it. It's expensive. It's about 3-4 times as expensive as the shared hosting plan, but it works. It's not sort of like becoming a blocker for me, for the editors on this website, because I don't really want to put any focus on this website myself. I just want to leave it up for the users to see, okay, if they really want to work on it, then sure, they can work on it. And so yeah, like I mentioned as well, it was very fine platform, very fine experience, and I think the way they handled it was also quite professional. They gave me the backup. I still have the backup for myself. I was only able to move a few websites, I think 3 websites out of this, because I was very careful. And now you can see as well, like it's not being bloated anymore. It's working perfectly. And the only reason why I think it's working perfectly is because it's no longer on the shared hosting plans. And that is what I'm planning to do for other websites as well. I'm going to remove them from the shared hosting plan. I am not sure if I'm going to use Namecheap's VPS or dedicated server, because I'm not, if I want to do the development, I would rather go to Azure, Microsoft Azure, and do this in .NET. If I'm gonna stay here, because I think this is not that bad. If I'm gonna stay here, I would rather have scripts like cPanel, where I can just simply, deploy a new resource using WordPress Manager or something else. That should make it simpler for me. I can do terminal. I'm a very beginner in it, but I think I'm not going to spend any more time on software changes or these kind of things. I don't want to do this, right? Especially if I'm going towards WordPress, I would rather have everything managed for me. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Dedicated servers, again, they're more powerful. They're not for me. I don't need this kind of usage. The only thing that I'm really interested in, or something that I really need, is the ability to have my own dedicated space, and 2, ability to deploy as many websites as I need. Because if my own websites start to throttle my services, then I can easily scale it up. So instead of, for example, if I start with this one and I see, okay, my websites are not performing, I can go to this one. If they're not performing there, I can go to this one. If they're not performing well, I can go to this one. Because then I know, okay, my business is growing, or users are growing, the use cases are growing, then I can always extend it to the next page, to the next page, to the next page. I can do that. But what I don't want is being locked into a shared place and then being attacked by I don't know who, which bot, and then being blamed that it was my fault or my website was causing this problem. Because I know now they're going to come to me and say like, okay, hey, these were all the scripts, and this website is not even, it's not anywhere. So yeah, I don't know. The goal was never to host this website. Okay, load this. Can you please load this? Yeah, so it redirects me here. So I don't know. So this file is from 2024. And then 2025, and then 2026, this one. So these are actually from yesterday. Okay. And I don't think you're able to upload the files directly from WordPress. Let's see what's actually cooking there. And see what we can learn, what I can learn actually, what I can learn. Images, can I see something here? Nope. Let's see, let's actually go here. And so this file was created in October 2025. October 2025. So the well-known, I think it's for the SSL config PDB, and this one I think was like a few days ago. PDB, what are these? Are these the debug symbols? What is, oh, so this is Joomla. Immunify. Oh, okay. So I believe this is more like for all the CMS, Presto, Magento, Joomla, and config PDB. What is a config PDB? Config PDB. Okay, I need to do some further digging into what this folder actually is. I wasn't here. I was here. So if let's open something and see if it makes any sense. Can you download it? Download and view. I'm actually not sure if I should be downloading all this mess. File not found. But it is there. No? Or is it linked? Okay. And when did this happen? So this happened like about few days ago, like 4 days ago. It is for PrestaShop, OpenCart. I think I have not used OpenCart here for PrestaShop. I do use WordPress, and I also don't know if WordPress and Joomla should go hand in hand because they're also both CMS. Magento again is another CMS. OpenCart. Oh, how many files are there? Oh my god. Whoa, how many files are there? And then this is the jump folder. What's in the, this is again another file, which is like, oh my god. Some people, I think some people have a lot of time on. Yeah, it seems like some people have a lot of time, a lot of spare time in this economy. So they decide, okay, or maybe they just have a lot of compute power. So they just run a script and they're like, okay, let's just allow it to run. And then they do all of this nasty stuff. What's this? I think most of it is just nonsense. Yeah, so this was the index. What is this? What is this file? I think that file was locked. This is an empty file. It has 0 bytes, but this one has some content. This is images. And all of these are just random. And if, for example, they can get access to these folders, they can easily access all of these files as well, like these public key infrastructure validation, everything. They can easily access it. And then if they can access this folder, you can easily see that they can access this folder as well because they have file system access, right? So if they can access this folder, they can do the same thing on this folder. What's stopping them from doing it? Yeah, they've already done something to this one. When, and again, this was again done yesterday. Yesterday. Okay, interesting. Same. When was this done? July. Okay, so this, okay, this is from way back. And then again, I think for the record, this website is not live. Let me see. Oh, okay, this is live. Okay. So I believe this could be because the website does not have SSL, so it's not secure. So anybody can play around with it. Interesting. I think I'm quite liking this this whole dilemma about hosting plans. It's more like going Kit Boga here, actually seeing what they do, because I most probably these are bot accounts that are just sort of like abuse. I don't know if this is used for crypto, or again, I've never been on this side of the hosting plan, so I have no idea what they could do or what they would do with this. But I'm pretty much sure the purpose of these files is to hide themselves, and then I don't know, do what? What is it? This is anyway. I'm not even gonna open it. And so that is it. So they get access to it, and then they do this nasty stuff. Again, this was abused yesterday, and this one, I remember I removed this website a few months back, so there was no WordPress on this one. So if I use this one, let's see where it takes me. It's this one, right? Pets Arena. Pets Arena, yeah. Pets Arena, yeah. So it takes me to the file system. Why does that? I have no idea. It should not be doing that. It should be just saying, hey, there is no server. Public FTP, public HTML. So this one. So this is for the main hosting platform, and then there's this one, same thing, January 4. So I think it was more like a shared attempt of exploitation. So it wasn't for one website, it was more for the hosting platform. So something did get access to the platform. This one was not abused, and you can see like this website was created like back in 2023 when the plan was moved. So this was one of those websites that I actually moved to this one. Oh no, actually something did happen here. Something did happen here yesterday. What happened here? What was changed yesterday? Buddy, tell me what was changed. Network. What changed yesterday? It's not showing anything here. It is not showing anything here that changed, but here it says this was changed yesterday. What was modified? I cannot know, right? But this one, for example, WP admin, WP content. Let's go to WP content. What was changed? Plugins were changed yesterday, and PHP, was it created or updated? Lightspeed was updated and plugins were updated. Lightspeed cache was updated. Okay, I mean, Lightspeed is a plugin that is definitely shared among all the websites here, right? So what is this? What is this? Robots or text? What's here? User agent disallow. Okay. Current version check. I'm not sure if I should be opening all of these files. Then this Lightspeed. Oh, sorry, I had already seen this one. Plugins, and then this PHP. Okay, yeah, sure. I think I shouldn't be touching this. Okay, so yeah, like it's WP includes what was added here yesterday. Text. So okay, so some text was added here. Actually, I can just do this. So these files, okay, so it was exploited just yesterday. The rabbit hole goes very deep. And then this ini files was added, a PHP file was added, this HTML.html, these were added, and then this thing was added. And then other changes were from December 18. Simplify REST API, I know. Some of these I know, not all of them. Okay, so if I go to text, what will I find here? So this is the diff, this is the exception. What is this diff? Engine renderer, what is this renderer for? Native shell string. I'm not gonna open any of these files, I'm sorry. I'm already scared. And So that is it, guys. And again, this one was also edited yesterday. And again, it could be that a system-wide maintenance happened. Like for example, for this index.php, it could be that a system-wide maintenance happened and it changed some of these files. But those bot names, they don't make any sense. Those bot names, they don't make any sense. And that is the only reason, that's one of the reasons why I'm like, no, you know what? None of this actually makes sense. And this is actually coming from Lightspeed Cache mostly. And it could be because most of these websites are actually using Lightspeed Cache. So it could be that there's a vulnerability there that is being exploited in this one. Lightspeed Cache vulnerability. WordPress, oh, okay. Okay, so what exactly is this? Is Lightspeed Cache vulnerable? Ah, okay. And a secret has been disclosed that could enable unauthenticated to escalate their privileges, which I think has been the case. And when was this? This was 1 year. Tracked the vulnerability was addressed in this, and this the plugin allows. It was fixed in. Okay. 11 months. Your plugin is vulnerable. Which version of Lightspeed are we on? Do we know? Can we know? I think Lightspeed was here. Lightspeed. Can I know which version are you using, sir? Yeah. And now again, we're looking at all those names: Joomla, Presta, Magento, OpenCart, all of these, which somehow are the offerings here. Settings. Can I know which version it is or not? Okay, this is annoying. It's quite an annoying thing. I deleted the Lightspeed Cache WordPress plugin. Okay, so I think what I can do now is I can stop going further down the rabbit hole by disabling the Lightspeed Cache plugin on WordPress, all the WordPress, cleaning them all up, and then seeing for 1 week if this actually solves anything. But if it doesn't solve anything, then I guess we're moving away from it, from the shared hosting plans for the least. Because otherwise I think this doesn't make much sense. Let's refresh this. What's going on? Yeah, it's still at the same. I don't know who's running all of these processes, because this would show that my website has a lot of users. Like it should have like, I don't know, 10,000 active users concurrently visiting the website. That's not the case. Even on the other websites as well, right? So for example, because this also shows like, okay, what's the IO usage for the website? It's not that much. What are the IOPS, entry processes? How much memory am I using? I'm not even using that much memory for that sake. So okay, so I think I have my action item. I will need to close this one. I will need to disable Lightspeed Cache on all the WordPress. It could be when I was checking here that some of these websites were exploited and some were not. And it could be that the websites that were using Lightspeed Cache are exploited, and the ones that that weren't using Lightspeed Cache, or I disabled Lightspeed on, they were not exploited. But I think the damage is already done way beyond anything imaginable. And yeah, that's what I wanted to share. Actually, I wanted to just start and share why using this for your hosting plan is not a good idea. But I think it's more like, okay, but I think the argument still stands because this is a shared plan. It The vulnerability could come from any. It could be my website. It could be anyone else's website. And but then because there's a vulnerability in one plugin, it seeps down to every other website as well. So I think for me, I'll do this, and then in 1 week or so, I will share how it's going now that I have disabled it or I've removed the caching plugin. Thanks for watching, and please do leave any comments because I might have sounded naive in this one. WordPress is a very uncharted territory for me. I don't do WordPress. Mostly I mainly just do ASP.NET. But for quick prototyping, I just rely on WordPress. I just do WordPress then. And that's what I did here. But I think knowing more about the platform that you're using is more important than just using it. So yeah, I'll try it for 1 more week and see how it goes, and I'll share any results that I have. Thank you.